Good evening and God bless everyone. It's Father Joe Brown here, Hempin with Father Joe. And thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight we are celebrating our new advisory board. And we're going to be talking to some of our new advisory board members. And we are celebrating Black History Month. And praise God. Uh, we're all going to try to join in tonight. We're having some technical difficulties. I got a little bit of pixelation going, and we have a few members that have tried to log on, and for some reason we're having some technical difficulties. But please stay tuned, and we'll see if we can get people to join in. In our typical fashion, we are going to open up in prayer and just ask you, Father God, to please guide us and direct us tonight, to open our minds and hearts to all of us who are watching and all of us who are participating tonight, and just educate us and fill us with knowledge on industrial hemp, Lord. And God, just guide us and direct us in 2023 with all the projects you have laid out for us, Lord. We ask that the Holy Spirit guide us and direct us to be successful in all things. We ask these things in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let me bring in Jeffrey Vega. Let's see. Are you there, Jeff?
I am here.
All right.
I'm in my vehicle, so you can't see me.
Well, it's good to see you. I'm going to bring in Kevin Butler too. Kevin Butler, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Yes, sir. It's good to see you.
How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you guys. It's us three right now. I'm not sure. I've had a few people text me on my phone and say they've tried to use the link and they couldn't get through. So we may be short a few advisory board members tonight, but that's okay. Everybody will have a whole year to get acquainted with everyone. So it's just going to be us tonight. This is your guys' first time, so we opened up in prayer, and I bring in the guest. And tonight, I guess it's just me, Kevin Butler, and Jeffrey Vega. Let me briefly explain each person's role here on the advisory panel. I'll start with Jeffrey Vega. Mr. Vega is our political advisor, and he's a conservative, and he is very active in Michigan politics. And he and myself and his son last year, we did a seed trial for hemp fiber. And we were unsuccessful, but that's what happens when you do trials. So we're going to give it another shot this year, and we're going to do a seed variety trial for hemp grain. And me and Mr. Butler, I think we go back, 6 years now? Maybe 7.
Yeah, about that, like 2013-ish,
yeah,
14-ish, yeah.
Almost in the beginning when I transferred from a state program into a federal program, you started stopping by over here and helping out and got involved.
Oh, yeah.
So we're real grateful for both of you guys participating and helping us shape legislation and conduct experiments and research here with the Michigan Hemp Farmer Association. And just so you guys know, everybody voted you guys in. There's not one board member that wasn't voted in unanimously. All you guys were. There was no doubt with any of you folks, and it hasn't always been that way in the past. But this year it was very unique because my wife, my son, our board is ran by my family, and everybody wanted you folks on the team. So we really sure do appreciate you guys volunteering. So this is Black History Month. So I'm going to have you, Kevin, start out and just explain a little bit about yourself and what you do and how you got acquainted with the Michigan Hemp Farmer Association and how you started out here on the farm and what you're doing in your private life. And then we'll ask a little bit of questions and stuff, and then we'll pass the mic over to Jeff. Hopefully some of the other board members managed to get through.
Well, let's start off here. I got introduced to Joe Brown in 2013, 14 ish, but I was already into growing, but not the CBD, and I kind of converted over a little bit into the CBD, and I kind of liked it. And Joe showed me a couple of tips, and I kind of went from there with it. And Ken Day, I don't see Ken Day in here.
Yeah, he's having a hard time getting logged on. That's why I asked
Okay.
you. I remember I texted you a minute ago, and I was like, "Are you able to log on?"
Yes.
Because you and Jeff are the only two that's been able to successfully log on.
Okay.
And if you look at my screen, I'm pixelated, but you're not. And Jeff doesn't look pixelated. His screen's just dark.
Right. Yeah. His screen's just dark.
I'm in the dark.
Yeah. But I'm seeing my screen's pixelated, so something's going on.
Right. Yeah. Something is. So, I guess with that being said, I started my own lawn care company in 2011, 2012, like right before I met Joe. And I was playing with it. I was playing around with it, and I was still working at a lawn care company. And then 2018, I branched off from that lawn care company and went solely on my own.
You've been killing it too. I've been watching you.
Yeah, I've been trying, Joe.
Man, all you do is work, brother. That's all you do is work. I watch you.
Yeah, you got. Hey, as a man, you have to be a provider.
You know it. Yeah, that's one of the big reasons we brought you in is you're a worker. You ain't afraid to pick up the shovel and start digging just like the rest of us.
I'm not. I love to get my hands dirty.
Yeah, I know you do. And you for those of you who doesn't know Kevin is an incredible grower. His skills, he's an expert. He could go get a job just like myself at any of these grow facilities, and he'd run that facility. I know I've seen your stuff. I've seen you in action. You're a professional expert grower. You're a cultivator.
Thank you.
And what you bring to the table is going to be important. Me and Jeff Vega are going to start this. We're finally going to do the chicken feed thing, Kevin. Finally.
Okay.
Jeff is working with me, and I'm working with him. We're going to grow 2 varieties of hemp grain on his farm, and just do an acre, a half acre of each.
Okay.
And you'll come into play on that too. So, because we're going to need your expertise on some of that stuff.
Okay.
But Jeff, tell them about Jeff Vega. There's so much to know.
Well, let's see. You and I met last year. I'm a political consultant. I run campaigns, and I had a client who actually won as a state rep in Father Joe's district, and by happenstance, we stopped into a restaurant he was working at, and we got to talking. And my son has been into growing hemp and making CBD and gummy bears and all that other stuff, and so we kind of hit it off there. And then also politically, with my involvement with Lansing and with other state reps, it just kind of became almost a natural fit, if you will. And then we decided to do an experiment with 2 different seeds. One was from the Ukraine, and do you remember what the name of that seed was?
Hiliana,
and then we had an Asian seed. And what was that one?
That was oh goodness, that was, I want to say it was Ma Tai, but I think I'm wrong about that. But that one didn't even sprout, right?
Right. So we tried 2 plantings. That one didn't sprout. but the Ukrainian one did very well. And I have a ranch. I raise sheep, and I have a transgender cow, but that's a whole nother story. And
Okay.
well, the cow jumped over the fence, and he enjoyed the harvest of the hemp. So, I mean, from the cow's perspective, it was a hit. From our experiments, no, it wasn't. So, I think this time around we'll put up electric fence around it because, you know, my cow is over 6 feet tall, maybe probably close to 7 feet. So he can jump pretty high. So, but and then, you know, so I'm looking forward to doing the experiment with the chicken feed, because I also have chickens too. So, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of room for the hemp industry in Michigan this year if, you know, we come together and we have a good game plan to deal with Lansing.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to tell you guys the 2 cultivars, but we haven't signed a contract with them yet. Jeff, did I forward you that email yet?
No, you have not.
Okay, well, I'm going to forward you, when we're done tonight, I'll forward that to you. So here's the down low on these cultivars, you guys. This company, the guy that I'm talking to, his name is Drew Kitt. He's out of South Carolina. He's a Ukrainian guy, I believe. I think he's Ukrainian. If you're watching this, Drew, and you're not Ukrainian, I apologize. I assume you are, though. I know you're European, and he sold the seed to another company here in Michigan, and they did an experiment with Michigan State University. And as you guys are aware, we work closely with MSU already. We have for years. And matter of fact, Kevin, you were out here when the dean showed up for the Michigan Festival, I believe. Oh, we lost Kevin. I'm telling you, Jeff, something's going on with the internet out here tonight. Here he comes. Yeah, I think he's back. Let's see. Yep, there you are. We lost you for a second if you didn't know. Are you back? Yeah, I think there's something going on. Anyways, when we had the first, second, and third hemp festivals, Kevin Butlers, he was at the first 4 or 5.
About that, Joe.
There you go. No problem.
Yeah, it kicked me out there for a second.
I think we got an internet problem out here tonight.
And
so guys,
how do we invite somebody to see this?
This is going to be on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
And so it'll rebroadcast on there. I'll actually release it once we go through it. The way I set it up is so we can edit this if we want to.
Right.
But we won't edit this one tonight. We're just going to freestyle it and then send it out tonight. Okay. But sometimes we go on for 2 or 3 hours, and so we edit it and just get the hot points, the hot
points, right?
Yeah. But I was saying, because you cut out, I was telling Jeff, you were at the first 4 hemp festivals, 3?
Yeah.
First 3, 4.
The first 3.
Okay, and I believe you were at the one where the dean for Michigan State University's agricultural department, Dr. Bueller, showed up. Were you at that one?
Yes.
Okay, so the point I'm making is we've worked closely with MSU for a number of years, and we're going to continue to just share our research with the university. Molly Mott, praise God, sent us a seed. I call it the success list. And what basically it was a list of all the hot seeds from last year and the seeds that tested that weren't hot. And then Drew Kitt from South Carolina, I know he's on top of this. I mean, he's right in the mix of everything. So I inboxed Mr. Kitt and I said, Drew, we don't want to have any losers this year. We need 2 winning horses. So he set us up with 2 cultivars, and MSU sent over the results of those 2 that they ran last year. So I'm hoping we get similar or better results than MSU had for our trial this year. Now, this part, neither one of you have dealt with. I wish Ken was here right now because Ken would know exactly what I'm talking about. When we had the farm in Kentucky and we ran the seed trials down there, we did a grain trial down there. I don't know if you remember that or not, Kevin, when we had remember the tent and we were in the tent and we were separating all the seed?
Yes.
We're going to do it the same way, but we're going to do it at Jeff's. Jeff's got a huge barn, and we're going to set some stuff up, and I'm going to build a screed, and basically the seed will fall through and the plant material in the seed will be separated.
Separated, right.
Yep. And then we'll make sure we properly store the seed. And we haven't got this far yet. Me and Jeff hasn't, but I know he's excited as I am. We may end up getting a seed press so we can press the oil, and then we'll use the cake for the chicken feed.
Okay.
I think there's a lot from cosmetics. Well, let me put it this way. 1 acre of hemp seed pressed, that's not even enough to supply us. As slow as we are right now, my son's company, the balm, we could buy all the oil just from me and Jeff. Russell would buy that from us. Instead of ordering it from Kentucky, he'll just buy it from us. Then we take the seed cake and we'll make chicken feed. And then the folks that join the co-op or the people who are already members of our co-op, they can buy the feed from us because they're part of the co-op.
Okay.
Jeff, have you talked to MDARD yet?
No, I plan on doing that next week.
Okay, great.
So, have that all set up next week.
So, Kevin, we need to plant the first week of May.
Okay.
Now, you know this already, but that's not normal. Usually we don't plant till June.
Right.
But with these 2 particular cultivars, I checked the date on the start, when they started them. They started on May 5th last year. Okay. And they used the seed drill.
No, they started outside last year with that?
Outside on May 5th. And I checked the weather on that date from last year. We had snow.
Yeah.
So they must have turned over the dirt, disked it, and dropped the seed in there. And that seed must here's Ken. Okay, Ken finally got through. Let me add Ken.
Good,
okay, you guys.
Good.
Hey, Ken, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Oh, good. Everybody's having a problem getting on tonight, so I apologize.
Okay.
I'm going to catch you up real quick. We were introducing ourselves, and then me and Jeff Vega are running the chicken feed program at his farm this year.
Okay.
You're not aware of this yet, but that's why I'm just bringing you up to speed. So Jeff's got to get with MDARD. They got this new thing, you guys. You remember how we could just show up at the field and anybody could work as long as I had you guys sign a W-2 or whatever, you guys can just come.
Yeah, or 1099, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, or 1099. Well, the new rule is now, since the final rules came out, whoever shows up and is a worker at the field has to have their name and their fingerprints ran through the FBI now.
Oh, really?
Or the state police. Yeah, isn't that weird?
Wow.
Molly Mott, literally from MDARD, she sent me a email and saying, "Hey Joe, by the way, the rules say if we were growing it at my farm and you guys were going to work on the farm, I would have to have you guys fill it out. But because it's Jeff's, now Jeff's got to have us put our names on his paperwork so that we can do the work." I don't understand the logic behind it, and I didn't want to get into a weird situation where there was any awkwardness or anything. That's the director of the program, and she's been so kind and generous to give us a lot of information to be successful. So it just is what it is. But Jeff's going to follow up with her, and we're going to get this all hammered out. So we're staying compliant.
So and that was an MDAR situation or MDAR.
Yeah, this is MDAR. This, but remember, MDAR is following the USDA final rules.
Right.
So it's out of their. Yeah, they're running it, but it's the feds that are. It's their program.
Right.
We adopted the program.
Yeah.
You know, as a state, we adopted the program. I think it's Public Act number 25. We were involved in that. I think it was House Bill 4517.
Yep, it was 4517.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
Jeff has a huge. You missed this, Ken, but Jeff has this huge bull, man, and I'm not kidding you. This dude is huge. Like. I've been around animals, farm animals, my whole life, and I've never felt nervous around any animals. Remember how big my hogs are? My hogs are huge.
Never.
And they bite. You know, my hogs would bite. Both of you guys know how aggressive those hogs were.
Yeah.
This dude right here, he could hit you one time and kill you. I'm telling you. But the reason I'm mentioning this, Ken, we did a fiber trial last year. Oh, it was Jin Ma. That's what it was, Jeff. Remember that?
Okay. All right. Yep.
We grew Jin Ma, and we grew Hiliana from the Ukraine. The Jin Ma brothers, I cannot emphasize this enough. Not one seed germinated.
None.
Not one seed germinated.
Oh.
I'm not kidding you. And his son, he's just like the rest of us. He knows what he's doing.
So yeah,
he's not no rookie. His son knows how to grow.
Yeah, so it's the genetics.
The seed was bunk. It was bad seed.
Yeah. And
the person I got it from, if she's watching, she was a little. She got a little butthurt about the whole thing because I had I never said her name. I just was posting the results on the Michigan Hemp Farmer Association page. And she didn't like the way I said it. And she's still kind of not talking to me right now over it. But, hey, I got to report what happens. I didn't throw her under the bus and say it was her.
Right.
And she said, well, I told you this was the circumstances. And I guess maybe she did tell me and I didn't pay attention. But I find it hard to believe that I would have missed that the seed was a gift given to her.
Yeah.
And she was given 500 pounds, and yet we got it somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't do trials with seed like that.
Yeah,
you guys know me better than that. Come on.
We've had our run-in with seeds. We know better.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Come on. So, Ken, the other part is I don't want that to happen again. So, Drew Kitt from South Carolina, the Ukrainian or European guy.
Yeah.
Catherine. Who is Catherine? Catherine's trying to get on here. I don't know who she is, though. I can't bring her in. I don't know her.
Right. Hey, Joe, can people view the podcast?
Yeah, they're viewing it right now.
How do if I want to share it with a friend, how do I do that?
After we hang up the show, just close it down. It'll be on the Facebook page for the Michigan Hemp Farmer Association.
Okay.
And YouTube.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'm getting you caught up. Do me a favor, and Jeff and Kevin. Me and Kevin, we know about you.
Hey, I can see Jeff now.
Yeah, I'm getting out of my vehicle. I finally made it home.
Jeff, he doesn't know you, Ken. Can you give him a little bit about your background?
Yeah. Good to meet you, Jeff.
Pleasure.
Good to meet you, man. I'm Ken Day. I'm a close friend of Joe's and Kevin's. I've been cultivating for about 20 years. Me and Joe met in 2012. I think he took a liking to what I had going on, and You know, I was right there with him, working at the farm.
Right hand man, right? You were my right hand man.
I was right hand. Everything in Kentucky. I mean, I was there. I've and currently I'm with the Indigenous Hemp Education Association. I'm on their board. They're a national board, and I teach online classes as well on cultivating. So, but I've you know, thanks to Joe, I've sat in almost every seat you can sit in this industry. You know, we helped negotiate some bills that were able to get passed. We started one of the first hemp pilot programs here and in Kentucky. It's all well documented on our Facebook. So just a lot of hands-on.
Yeah, definitely. So we're celebrating Black History Month, okay? And I gotta say it because it's a fact. Ken Day is the very, very first African American hemp business owner in the state of Michigan. Period. You said, well, how can you say that, Joe? Because I was the first one who got the federal license and state license.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I'm the one who said, hey, Ken, you need to open up your business. And we started the whole thing together. And I'm telling you, this is the very first legal African-American hemp farmer and business owner in the state of Michigan is Ken Day.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to the world, or the world to you. This is him.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, right behind him is Kevin Butler. And I wish Tasha was on here because Tasha came in almost the same exact time as Ken. She was a year later, but she's in Ohio. We've been working with Tasha Roundtree in Ohio since 2013. Ken, you know where we met her at? We met her
not to cut you off, Joe.
Yeah.
But Jeff, me, Ken, and Joe been sharing secrets for years.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not kidding you. Hey, Jeff, these folks would grow hemp, and these multi investment firms would come in. I mean, just bankroll to the teeth, you know, just got so much money you couldn't even imagine it, but they couldn't grow nothing successfully. And we were coming in here with Tommy Chong money and Ross Robolati money. You know, it wasn't like we were broke or anything, but we didn't have the money some of these other guys had. So let me bring Ken back in. I lost him. Hold on.
I got kicked off for a minute.
It's the internet. I know it is now because it kicked Kevin off, and we can't even get Tasha. We can't even get her on. She keeps inboxing me on my phone while I'm talking to you guys, and she says it just keeps running her in a circle. It won't, you know, there's like a circle going. It won't let her in.
Man.
Anyways, Jeff, it trips me out. Ken and me met Tasha Roundtree in Kentucky. Remember the hotel we were at on the river in Louisville?
Yep.
What is that? Oh man, we were at a $500 a night hotel room, and we had a conference there, and we were there talking. We were presenters. Yeah. And we met Tasha, and we've been working with Tasha ever since. So everybody on our board, Jalen O'Neill, he's another one. Now that's my son Russell. That's his friend, Jalen O'Neill. But here's an interesting fact about Jalen, and I know you know him, Kevin and Ken. Jalen is Russell's African-American friend, the light-skinned kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's a manager now over in Grand Rapids at a dispensary, and they just won the state contest for being the most diverse cannabis company in the state of Michigan. They got it from CRA, the Cannabis Regulatory Agency.
Nice.
I mean, they're doing it right. You know, they got good product. They sell nothing that's been remediated. Our kind of guys, you know what I'm saying? That they're doing it right. So I don't know what happened to Jalen. He did text me. He said he's getting the circle thing too. So I don't know. I guess all of us have better internet than they do.
Right.
I think that's probably what it is. Can you see how pixelated I am, Ken?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
I see it all pixelated on my end.
Oh yeah,
So,
no, it's a clear picture in my end.
But I want to talk to you guys about something. We're gonna take a break here in a minute, but something to think about. And when we come back, we'll have a 3.5-4 minute break. But think about this while we take the break. We introduced House Bill, the package 5058. Ken, you were involved in all that. You were actually at the Senate hearings and everything with me.
Yep.
It flew through the House. House Bill 5058, that package flew through the House. Then it got to the Senate, and we got to the Senate Judiciary Committee, and our dear friends from the Cannabis Agency Cannabis Association showed up.
Right.
And they stabbed our tires up, and so we have flat tires.
Yep.
It was terrible.
They tied our shoestrings together and we were getting ready.
We were flopping all over the place. And it was all about Delta 8, Delta 9.
And
conversions, though. HHC, what's the other one? D10. Ken, you told me the other one. What's the other one they was complaining about?
It was the HHC.
The HHC.
Because they've been taking the industrial hemp and doing the conversion over into HHC.
Jeff, are you familiar with any of this? Your sound's off.
Yep, we can't hear you.
Nope.
Okay,
I had to mute my phone because I got 5 Great Pyrenees.
Oh, gotcha.
They're gonna start singing. So
gotcha. let me explain what happened and why.
Yeah.
So we have these bills, and everybody was on board. I'm talking the left and the right. Everyone seemed happy about it. What happens is, the marijuana lobby, they see hemp conversions as a direct competitor against their businesses. Matter of fact, the lady's quoted, and it's recorded. She says, "We can't compete with them. They'll literally put us out of business." The hemp conversions would put the marijuana business for edibles out of business. She said it right to the lawmakers, and she's right. She's absolutely right.
Yes, she is.
Because we can grow millions of acres of hemp and convert it over, and instead of having a $10 bag of gummies, they're 99 cents now. They can't compete with that. These folks are already having a hard time competing already.
Because they're in such a flooded market. So, Jeff, what's going on is you have guys growing industrial hemp, by the acre, and they're converting it. In this conversion, we haven't really talked too much about the process, but they're converting it over into a compound called HHC/THC. And it's undetectable. But this stuff is, we're talking, 30%, 20%. It's extremely cerebral, but you
get high.
You get high. Is what we're saying. You know what I'm saying?
But Jeff, it says hemp on it, and we all know.
And the bad thing is they're able to sell these products at gas stations, corner stores. You don't have to go to a dispensary to get these products. You know what I'm saying? And it says right there on the package, HHC/THC. It's undetectable. You get. I personally tried some just to see. And boy, it did. It
gets you high. I tried it too.
Too high.
It gets you high.
Yeah. Not medicated. High.
High. And Jeff, the problem with it is, if it says hemp on the packaging, we at the Michigan Hemp Farmer Association believe this to the core. If it says hemp, it should not get you high.
Right.
It shouldn't get you high. That's cannabis. Cannabis gets you high.
Right.
So before we take this break, here's what I want you guys to think about. I talked to MDARD and the USDA, and I've been in conversations with the FDA. They want us to weigh in. We offered the state these bills to legalize all the hemp foods, and they shot it down. Yeah. So now the only thing left to do is to start enforcement. We already have the regulations. Now we have to start enforcement. Here's the thing, though. I can tell you on our side for the executive board, we won't do any enforcement that locks people up.
No, right. No.
Absolutely not. There will not be no jail time we won't even accept the bill that has any jail time at all in it, period. Yeah. But we do want fines and your license to be suspended for up to 5 years, depending on how bad you violate the rules. The rules already exist.
Yeah.
Right.
And here's the main reason I want it is, and you guys know this, and Ken, this affects me and Ken in a huge negative way directly. We can't sell our edibles, Jeff, right now because of the law says we're not allowed to.
We're not allowed to put hemp in.
We can't adulterate it. We can't adulterate hemp food for animals or humans, or for any consumption. You can buy it at every gas station.
Right.
So it's killing us, Michigan farmers and hemp business owners. It's killing us by all these out-of-state companies are flooding our market with all these illegal products. So the only recourse we have is enforcement. That just food for thought. I'm going to take a break, and when we come back, let's talk about this enforcement thing and how you guys, what you envision. What do you guys envision? And see, Jeff's a political expert. We have lawmakers already, but Jeff's got more lawmakers. He's got more lawmakers than we already work with. I mean, we got asked, hey, let's get a bill put together for enforcement.
Okay.
But I'm telling you right now, whatever your opinion is, I respect it. But I'm telling you, no jail. That for me, that's out of the question.
Right. Jail shouldn't be involved.
Not for this plant.
Not for hemp.
No, not for this plant.
Right.
And that's across the board. So
yeah. So, anyways, I'm gonna go to break and I'm gonna put everybody on hold. It's about 3.5 minutes, and I'll see you guys when we come back.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, I'm gonna switch from my phone to my computer. All right.
Okay.
So I'll be logging off on my phone and hook me up on the. Well, let me make sure I get on the computer.
Yeah, just come back in on the computer.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna get us started. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let me. Let's see here. Where we at? I got to go to present. I got to go to video file. I'm just learning this, guys. I'm trying to get good at it.
Oh, you're good, Joe.
Let's see here.
You'll figure it out, Joe. You always do.
Let's see here. Podcast. Okay, here it comes, guys. Oh, here we go. Sorry. everybody. I'm going to bring everyone back in. Our sponsor here first. All right, here we go. Everybody back with us?
Yeah, I'm here with you, Joe.
All right. Ken, you
Sir.
back?
Yes, sir.
All right. What did you guys think of that? All that new stuff we got put on here.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's
I
nice.
want,
Great.
I want to give a shout out to Justin Trowbridge. And he's our producer now. He's not on this episode tonight. He couldn't make it. But I'm really happy with his work. He's done a pretty good job for us. And he's a great guy. It's funny. Unless this is you guys can't see this on my back end here, but Kanye West it says he digs the show. So
Really?
yeah, I'll have to show you on this. So what's up, Mr. West?
Right. Shout out Kanye West.
Yeah, we love the new album.
Right. Use your help.
So Ken, let me ask you first. I mean, it's no jail, right? I mean, that's like not even a consideration.
That's not even a consideration. I mean, we both have always agreed that no one should be jailed for this plant. You know, even if they are a so-called adversary or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
We just we've always stood on doing things the right way and having good intentions and, you know, operating within realms of the law. So I think on the back end, that's all we ask for is that our competitors or other people who are working with this plant do the same thing and that they respect, you know, the plant and what it can do, you know. So just imposing, you know, sanctions, you know, like you said, either some sort of restriction on their license for, you know, a time being or a fine, but nothing that's going to jail anyone. You know, I'm definitely not with that.
Currently, gentlemen, I don't have the subsections of the USDA final rules, but Molly Mott did send them to me. And here's the gist of it. As a licensee right now, all of us who have licenses, if we get caught selling edibles, essentially for pets or humans, with CBD or CBG or whatever cannabinoid that's nonsense, we can lose our license for up to 5 years today, right now.
Wow.
5 years.
Wow.
Now, here's the part they don't got, and so when I looked over the language of it, here's the part where we're going to have to come in is I got to go through this, and then you guys, the way we do this, folks that are tuning in, is I'll review the bill or I'll put the bill together, the language, and then these gentlemen and the rest of our team, we all decide on what we need to add or subtract from that language. And God bless Jeff. He can get this in the hands of people that we don't know yet, but he knows them. He knows everybody, and say, hey, look, this is a common sense approach to protect Michigan hemp farmers across the board. These folks don't get to sell the product, and these out-of-state folks don't get to sell the product. I mean, fair is fair.
Yeah.
So when I'm writing this, one of the big considerations, I knew that was going to come up right away, and we're going to get, Ken, you know this more than anyone. They're going to jump on us about this.
Yeah.
You know, the other associations are going to say, oh yeah, Joe's back at it again. He's going to lock people up for for hemp. And that's why I'm bringing it up, is because that's not going to happen. No one's going to jail. But if you, I'll give you an example. I can't say their name because we'll be liable for that. But there's a company who has put hemp CBD products in every gas station in Michigan.
Yeah.
And I bet you, if you look around, if you haven't noticed them, they're there.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about. Both you guys do. Have you seen that at all, Jeff? Have you noticed there's CBD at gas stations? Your mic's
Still can't hear
you. There you are.
Yeah, no, actually, I haven't paid.
Go in next time. Just take a little peek around, because they'll be right there by the cash.
Oh, I know. I see the product. Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I just don't know what the product. I mean,
well, there's a group, and they're everywhere, and they're out of Colorado, and then
be careful.
and Florida.
Yeah, in Florida.
And they're the same group that are bringing these products in that get you high, that say hemp on them, but they actually get you high.
Yeah.
And they have a very strong lobby, and they're not very friendly. Let's say that.
Right.
I'll say it that way. They're not very friendly toward us.
Well, do you have a list of who are their big who they donate to?
No, but it's something we can find.
Yeah, I mean that's the first thing we probably need to do is
follow the money, huh?
Yeah, follow the money, and then we know which reps we need to address that issue with, and I can have guys. I deal on the Republican side of the aisle.
Yep.
Ken, you didn't hear this, but I'm a political consultant, campaign manager. I've elected a few people to the House of Representatives that I did. So I have their ear. So
nice.
Yeah. So I can give them the truth and let them know what reality is, and we could definitely put a kibosh to these individuals that are playing the system. So
okay, yeah, I mean, because I think I speak for all, well, for me and Joe at least, and Kevin, when I say that their reason for doing it is only for financial gain. I mean,
you speak on the behalf of the entire board right now. Let me tell you that, and the executive board.
Right.
That's their only reason for doing it, is for financial gain.
And they're not trying to heal. They're not trying to educate. And they're making this accessible to kids. To children.
Yes.
Who can easily take this, product and get high. You know what I mean? And then not to mention, we don't know, and I believe a young lady at the state rep office said this. We don't know the long-term effects of these conversions. You know what I mean? We don't know what exactly they're even doing to,
So for the record, we're not against conversions. We're against unregulated Michigan licensed conversions.
Right.
See, if they're regulated through the Michigan, the Michigan Cannabis Regulatory Agency now, then we're okay with that.
Yeah.
But that's not what's going on, Jeff. They're sending in products that aren't even tested or lab verified or anything. I mean, it's the Wild West.
Yeah. This stuff is being grown in Colorado, processed
in Florida,
and shipped all over from here
all
to
over the United States. Their biggest customers are states that have no legalization.
That's who they target.
That's their target audience.
That's their target market, because they can get into that market and sell, cannabis without it being unregulated, or it's.
I believe we work closely enough with Micah, with Robin Schneider.
Yeah.
I'll use her name. She's a friend of ours, and they're a huge lobby group, an association for cannabis here in the state of Michigan. They support the small guys. I believe we can team up with those folks and work together because they don't want that stuff here either. That's who showed up to the meeting and shot it down is because they really thought that we were trying to backdoor these products in, which wasn't true. Me and Ken know because we worked on this thing.
Right.
But I seen their point. I mean, we both had to agree after the hearing. We were like, yeah, okay, that's legit. But it got to the point where it may or may not be this may not be accurate statement, and I stand to be corrected, and I'll apologize if I'm wrong. But the lawmaker that we were working with on those set of bills, I believe had the big guys from out of state contact them and say, hey, you got to stop these bills. You got to, because all of a sudden,
definitely.
We can't prove that, but it sure looks like it. Don't it, Ken?
For sure.
I mean, they helped us.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Who is the loudest voices on the Republican side that are siding with him?
Right now, I'm gonna say. You see me in association wise?
Yeah. I would say more association wise than individual.
I think maybe the U.S. Hemp Roundtable.
No, I mean, what legislator are you getting the biggest pushback from?
We're not getting no pushback. We're not getting no time. They just cut us off. That's what happened.
Hasn't even been up for discussion.
The Senate Judiciary Committee, and they reassigned it over to the Ag Committee. They stuck it over in Steve Carra's realm, and all of a sudden now we can't even get phone calls back
from Steve.
Yeah.
Steve says he'll talk to me, but he hasn't called me back yet.
Okay. I'll look in agriculture.
If Steve's watching this, and Steve does watch this podcast from time to time, Steve, if you were watching, please call me back.
I'll make a point. Stop in his office, in Sarah Leitner's office this week.
Those bills have everything in them that would empower every Michigan farmer here in the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna say nope, we're not letting those bills go through. They've tied our hands, and now we have to put a bill together for enforcement. We have no choice.
Well, I will say now in this session through 24, it's the Democrat Party who will dictate what bills get heard and what bills does not get heard. So, but
that's where I was talking about Micah. Micah, that's Robin Schneider. These folks are all Democrat. You know what I'm talking about, Ken. These are Democrats.
Yeah.
These folks will work with us. We've been working with Robin Schneider since 2009?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
2010?
Yeah. Back with Ross Gold.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. All the way back. So I mean, these are friends of ours. These are Democratic friends of ours.
Yeah.
My thinking is when we get out, obviously we're doing the podcast and we're talking about things, and people are going to watch. They're going to hear us. But in the end, I'm going to put some emails together, and we're all going to put our heads together because we got to get Tasha and bring her in on this conversation. Yeah. Tasha's our Democrat. I mean, Tasha's she's a big Democrat, and she's got a lot of influence with the Democrats. And we need to get us all on the same page, and all start talking about this. And I think regardless if they're going to accept House Bill 5058 package or not, that language that's in those bills, they can rename the bills, they can do whatever they want, but that language will stay unchanged because all them things have to happen in order for us to have a viable Michigan industrial hemp industry when it comes to cannabinoids with edibles. And without it, out-of-state folks are making the money, not Michigan hemp farmers. That's just it. It ain't us. It ain't us. The Michigan licensees are making money. It's Colorado folks and Kentucky and Florida. These guys are making all the money off right now in Michigan.
Well, let me say this to you. So I'm looking at the Agricultural Committee, and the chair is Reggie Miller. Now, he is she is a first termer, and she won her district very, very narrowly. You could probably squeeze her a little bit because I know the Republicans, they're going to target her district. So she's going to look for allies.
Okay.
And then I don't know if anybody knows her, but and then the vice chair, the majority is Veronica Pias. I know Jerry Nyler, the Republican, who's a minority vice chair. But let me run some other names and see if you guys know these people, because I don't know everybody. Lori Stone, the Democrat, Stephanie Young, Betsy Koffa, Emily Davendorf, something like that. And then John Fitzgerald, Carrie Renegade. Man, some of these names, man. Give me
I've
a
never
break.
heard of them.
I know. And Curtis Vanderwall, John Ross.
I've heard of.
Yeah. Matt Berline. And I know Rachel Smith personally. So I can definitely connect with her and Jerry Nadler. Jerry Nyer.
Okay.
But reaching out to Reggie Miller, it's a female. I think you could have an impact with her. Now, they know me as a Republican consultant, so it might fall on deaf ears with that. But then
but remember, these folks know we from the beginning. We worked with both sides of the aisle in our entire history since 2009. We worked with both sides because we got to get it done.
Right.
We couldn't pick a side. Now, as farmers, we generally work with conservatives because that's who Ken's shaking his head. Yeah, because that's the only ones that would listen to us. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Democrats are not. They don't align with the farmers, generally speaking. That's why
most of them are in urban areas and not in rural areas. So they really don't have an understanding. Like
exactly.
Last session you had Garcia from Taylor. He was the agricultural minority vice chair. He's from Taylor. What do you grow in Taylor?
Yeah.
He has no clue on any type of farming. So yeah. So but Reggie Miller, she is from Washtenaw, Milan. She's from a rural area.
Okay.
So she's gonna have an understanding of reaching out for farmers.
Ken, what was the guy's name in the Senate Judiciary Committee that he touted himself as the key expert? What was that guy's last name?
The doctor.
Yeah, the doctor.
Delali.
No, it wasn't Delali. It was Verhurley or something like that. I'm gonna look it up, Jeff, because this gentleman, he actually knew most of everything we were talking about. He comprehended everything fully. He even touted himself. He said, "Hey, look, Mr. Brown." He said, "I would like to believe I'm probably the most expertise on the committee on this issue."
What was his name? I have his card. I remember, but he was all for it.
I think he's still. He got reelected. I believe he got reelected, and I know he would be an ally.
Yeah, for sure. He told us he would. He was.
They could have killed that bill in the Senate Judiciary Committee that day, and he said, "Nope, let's try to get this figured out."
And he personally walked it.
Yes.
To the front. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. He's definitely going to bat for us and the smaller farmers.
Something to think about with Micah is they're what's in their best interest, right? Is to not have all these conversions even exist. So I know they'll help us with this. I feel confident with that. And and Jeff, they're so aligned with the Democrats. They're feeding these folks all kinds of money.
Yeah.
With that being said, I wanted to bring up one more thing. It was now you guys are gonna turn your heads out a little bit when I bring the next one up. But let me explain it before everybody gets hopped up on this. My wife, she brought it to the table. Harrison seconded it. Russell brought it up for a motion to vote on or to discuss, and I motioned to vote. Accurate, reliable roadside testing.
Yeah. We talked about that for
okay.
sure.
And when I say, let me explain it. So currently right now, you can use cannabis and 30 days from now and never touch it again. And 30 days from now, get pulled over and you'll test positive for cannabis and you will lose your license and you'll be treated like a drunk driver. Okay. And we know for a fact that the science exists already that they can test you very similar to the way that they test you for alcohol.
Yeah.
You can be tested, but the state has to make an investment and the Democrats will have to come up with money to fund the program, a pilot program where you can breathe into something like a breathalyzer. And if you smoked within a certain amount of time, even if you register, as long as you didn't smoke within 4 hours or whatever the time frame is, because it's done by weight.
Yeah.
So what it would do is give cannabis users a safe, reliable sense of security by saying, you know what, I weigh 300 pounds. I'm talking about me. I weigh 300 pounds. I took a couple puffs off a blunt or I had an edible. It's been 4 hours, and the law says as long as I wait 4 hours, I'm safe. I'm not being an irresponsible cannabis user.
Right.
There's a couple organizations already trying to work at this right now. Have you guys seen the signs that say "Don't drive high" on the highways?
Yeah.
Those are the folks that we need to ally with it on this and work with, so that, because if we don't do this, let me be clear about this. If we don't work with these folks, they're going to allow some testing to come into the matrix of all this, and it ain't going to be safe or reliable. It's going to be what they get sold, because they just want to get the problem to go away, but they don't understand they can treat this just like alcohol, and the science is there so that we can be within a few hours. You know, hey, you had an edible, you got to wait 4 hours, or
just like someone who drank alcohol. They
just like alcohol, you guys.
We need
just like alcohol. Right. What is the limit? 2 beers? Is that how it works? You can have 2 beers and you got to wait an hour. Yeah, I don't know. I don't drink.
I don't drink. I'm not sure.
Jeff, do you know? Do you have any idea?
I still think it's a couple of
drink either.
But you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Right.
When you go to a bar,
there's a certain time when they do it.
You've had 4 drinks.
Like 2 hours.
You can't have no more.
Right. Like Kevin said, it's a time. It's like a 2-hour time window.
You have to wait, and it's all based on your weight. The weight of the person.
Yep.
If you're a small little person, you might have to wait a little bit longer, because depending on how much alcohol you had.
Right.
But my point is, the 2 big things legislatively this year is an enforcement bill, or they get off their heinies here and get this House Bill 5058 or something real similar to it passed, or an enforcement bill. I think the enforcement bill's got to be done no matter what, regardless if they pass it or not, because we got out-of-state companies coming in here that don't even have licenses, and they're selling unregulated product that's dangerous to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think that's inevitable. I think the enforcement bill has to happen regardless. But The second part of it is safe, reliable roadside testing. It's time, guys.
Yeah.
None of us do it. We don't.
Right.
If we consume cannabis, we don't go around and drive irresponsibly.
No,
It's just not the right thing to do.
it's
Right.
it's always like with doing that, you have to wait some hours before you can get behind that wheel.
Did you know what the current situation is? The current pilot program they're running. Does anybody familiar with it?
No, I didn't know there was one.
Okay, well there is, and they got it in Grand Rapids, and they can pull you over. Now you don't have to take it. That's what they don't tell you though. When you get pulled over, they'll act like you have to take it. But my lawyer told me you never take it, and the reason why, this is why, the nanograms are set so low that you could have used a week ago, and you'll test like you just had it.
Do you know what number is set at? Because I know, like with
I don't know the nanograms numbers, but my lawyer, not Josh, the other guy. I got a new guy now. Josh quit being a lawyer.
Yeah, right.
Jonathan said that that he saw the nanogram percentages, right? Because he understands that on a legal aspect.
Right.
He said, Joe, if you had an edible marijuana product a week ago and you get pulled over today, he said you're going to jail.
Yeah. Well,
for a week ago. Could you imagine drinking a beer a week ago?
Yeah.
And you getting pulled over and going to jail?
Well, alcohol doesn't bind to your fat cells like
cannabis.
Totally different.
Yes.
Thing. And so, going back to the test, I believe with like if you're on probation and you have to take a urine test, they go off of nanoliters. What'd you say? Nanograms. Nanograms, and it's 15 nanograms. Is what?
Wow.
They go off the lowest level.
They go off the threshold.
Nanograms. That's like one trichome. That's like a trichome.
At the lowest level, they're testing that.
So
that's not safe or reliable.
It's 15 nanograms per milliliter of the amount of urine. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's a very low number.
You realize that means full spectrum hemp products, you would test positive for cannabis.
Right. Yeah. So just to give you an idea.
Wow.
Just to give you an idea, I was doing some research on myself a couple years back, and I stopped using for about a month. I still had between 18 to 20 nanograms per ml in my urine 30 days after using a small amount of cannabis.
Wow.
It stays in there. It depends on how much you're using. It'll stay up in there. It'll stay in your body up until 90 days.
And the thing is, it doesn't drop below that
right.
15. The 15 nanogram is where they can test it, where it's detectable. It's not detectable anything under. You know what I'm saying? That's 15. So it's gonna be a hard one, man.
Well, let me tell you this. I can't tell you the company that's doing it, but I had to take a test, and it was explained to me that their test is so accurate. It was a swab test. That their test was so accurate, it could detect it within 4 hours of usage.
Wow.
Now, if that company that I'm talking about, and this is a big corporation, if they can do it within 4 hours, you're going to tell me the government can't do that within 4 hours?
Yeah, right.
I'm not buying it. So, anyways, we're not going to beat this up any longer, but just so you guys know, some of the business that's coming up, that's one of the things that we got to address this year as as advisory board members and board members for the Michigan Hemp Farmer Association, you guys are going to get paperwork that I'll be forwarding emails and getting the comments, questions, and concerns on it, because they're trying to write a bill right now. This organization, I'm not going to say their name right now because I don't have their permission. I know you guys saw the bulletin boards on the highway.
Yeah.
And they're well funded, and they have roots to the organization's Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Oh, wow.
I will say that they're tied into that organization somehow. And we can sit here and all these old school guys that are smoking weed, they're going to say, hey, it makes me a better driver. I've said that in my past when I was a young man. But the fact of the matter is, I would like to know personally myself, how many hours do I have to wait before I can responsibly operate, not just a car,
not just for jail purposes for yourself.
I run four-wheelers, all the industrial equipment I got to run
any
on
motorized vehicle.
Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm safe and I'm keeping everyone safe around me.
Yeah, it's not about staying out of trouble and all that. We want to know for ourselves. You know what I mean? If we're
being responsible.
We're responsible enough
just consider right now what it is, you guys. They're telling us, our lawyers are telling us, if you used it within 7 days, you're going to be hot. That's not acceptable. Think about that.
Right.
We can't have that.
That's not acceptable at all.
No, it's not even fair.
Jeff, you got any thoughts on that?
You know what? Be honest with you, I haven't even thought about it because I don't smoke and I don't drink, so it's like but now that I'm involved with this, I think it's something that I gotta look at more closely and have messaging for that, because now that it's here and it's here to stay, we can't criminalize everybody. And you know what? The government loves to get everybody in the system, because once you get in that system, they don't let you go, and they got you forever. You know it. And the criminal justice system makes a lot of money.
Yeah, they do.
Yes,
and
they
Jeff,
do.
Like you were saying, Jeff, you don't drink or smoke, but there's tons of other drivers that do, and I'm sure you want to know if they're, you know what I'm saying?
Now, the one guy that says he can drive better with weed, smoking weed, I'm going to stay away from him.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, there was a time all you guys wanted to stay away from me.
It's called delayed reaction time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I took too many punches in the head, and there was a point in my life it really showed.
No, me, I can't even medicate before I go to work in the morning because I'm driving a truck, trailer with mowers on the back.
Yeah.
I'm running all different types of equipment.
Yep.
Or I'm driving my truck with the plow on it. I have to wait until I get home.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, I do the same thing. I wait till nighttime. I use it to help sleep if I'm going to use it. That's just the way I do it. It's like a sleeping pill to me.
Yeah, I use it for medication. It's medication.
Yeah,
you know
that's it. Strictly, you guys know Jeff, you don't know this, but these guys have been around long enough to know this. We did not support recreational cannabis.
No, we
did not. And there was a point we were on board. Me and Ken, we went to all the meetings and all that. And this is why we decided to get involved in the passage of recreational. Was they were going to put 1% THC, allow 1% in the language for hemp. That's a big deal, Jeff. I can explain it more in depth why it's critical. But here's the main beef of it. For us to be competitive on a global market, for the U.S. to be competitive, Michigan especially, because this is our home state, we need 1% THC, not 0.3. We need 1%. And that doesn't get you high. It's just the same as 0.3. There's no psychotropic effects. but we need that so we have a higher CBD to THC ratio. Okay, because you can only get so much CBD when you maximize at 0.3.
Yeah,
it just won't go any higher. Me and Ken, we had it, didn't we? It was on the bill. Me and Ken go to this party for all the big wigs that were involved in it, and they walk over and they tell me and Ken are standing there. They said, "Hey Joe, we need you to come up with another $1 million, or we're gonna have to pull out. We're gonna have to pull that out of the bill." Ken, am I lying?
Not at all.
He was standing right next to me. Or we're pulling that language out of the bill. And I said, okay, I didn't throw a fit at the time. I was trying to be professional and everything, but I was mad. You know I was mad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, madder than heck, man. And I got home, I sat over it overnight, and the next day I went on Facebook and I went nuts. And I'll tell you, I was not being professional.
No.
I said, we're not supporting recreational cannabis. The only reason we supported it in the first place was because we wanted the 1%. So you know how you got to give and take sometimes, where you got to say, okay, in order to get this 1%, we're going to have to go with recreational cannabis. That's why we did it. Once they took the 1% out, we don't support it anymore. That's the truth of it. That's I know people talk about it in the industry and they twist it around and everything, but that's the real.
That's the
whole thing. That's the truth.
That's the real deal. Yeah.
You see what the recreational did to the whole industry.
Oh, wreck it.
They wrecked the whole industry. They're at the shop selling $48 ounces.
Yeah.
You know what? That's called karma, brother. That's exactly what they get.
You know what I heard? What they're doing? I don't know if you guys may remember about a year and a half ago, the agency that regulates all these dispensaries, they took, it was so many thousands of pounds of flour that didn't pass the test.
Yep, the remediated.
Yep. So you know what I found out through a dispensary owner himself. He told me out of his mouth that they shelved all that for about 6 months. And they got some expensive machine that they can put the flour in and kill all the pesticides, any mold, anything. They put it right back on the shelves. That's what they're selling for $50 an ounce right now.
Yes, it's all been remediated. It's all been remediated.
Yes,
it tastes like chemicals.
Oh yeah, it tastes like a bag of chemicals.
Yeah, I tried some of it. It was
totally
horrible.
Unsafe. Totally.
They're also putting it in, making oil out of it, and then that's where you're getting them cheap edibles at.
Yep.
Now, I plow a dispensary in a grow facility. I'm not gonna say the name of it on the thing. But they called me in when I was plowing or whatever. They were having deals, bro. They're selling $10 eighths, $8 eighths, and $2.50 pre-rolls.
Wow.
Right.
You ain't making no money on that. That's a complete loss.
But actually for them, it's not. They have one of the biggest grow facilities in town.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I'm not going to say their name. I know exactly who you're talking about.
So they out of just one of their grow rooms, they can come off with almost 1,000 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
At
not
a time.
to mention the extra for concentrates.
Right. The concentrates and everything. But if they're taking this stuff like Ken said and running it back through that machine, everything that I've tasted,
it's $12 a pound for them to remediate it. I called them and asked them.
Everything I've tasted from those dispensaries, and it's not just one; it's all of them.
All of them.
It is chemically. It tastes. It has a chemical taste to it.
I agree.
It's not
safe.
real. not real flower. And even if they're selling, even if they're going behind the scenes and selling hemp out of there, it still doesn't taste the same.
Well, did you guys see that a lot of these dispensaries are starting to sell Delta 8 and Delta 10?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They tell us at the hemp folks, we can't do it, but they get to.
And they do
Right.
it.
I mean, this is Jeff. This is why we gotta work. We gotta fix this. This is broken. It is literally killing every single Michigan hemp farmer in the state.
Yeah.
I mean, it just the unregulated, non-enforced market that exists today is killing Michigan farmers.
And
I mean,
the
it's
longer
decimating them.
the longer we go without a solution, the worse it's gonna get fast.
Yeah.
These guys, they operate fast. They're no dummies. They're resourceful. They have capital. You know what I mean? They have everything they need to.
One of the biggest operators, Jeff, I can't say his name, but Ken knows him. He used to work for us. You know who I'm talking about too.
Yeah.
My neighbor. Think about it.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And he basically took my business plan and he just said, see ya. And he started doing what we were doing. And then there was a point where they said, hey guys, do you want to get involved in this hemp stuff where it gets you high? And we all smoked it and tried it. And we said, no, we're not doing it. We're not getting involved in this. It tastes like chemicals. Remember that?
And it totally kills
white powder.
Yeah, and it totally kills our business, our
market.
Vision.
Our whole existence.
Well, let me say this. What we need to do is put together a list, I mean, whether it's 3 points, 5 points, 10 points of things that we want to get enacted that will benefit the hemp association or the hemp growers.
Right.
And, put them in degrees. This is the number one thing that we would love to have all the way down to 10. And then as these bills come up, when before they have their third reading, you could slip a line in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And slip a line in, for example, increasing from 0.3 to 1%. As you want.
Yeah, which we've been trying to do for years.
You get a bill that's ready to get on the floor and be passed, and at third reading they add that in there, and it's it's pretty much a done deal.
Right.
And you throw that in there, you might be able to slide something in that way. So
gotcha.
Oh, so look, you guys, we're gonna close here because we're almost at 9:30. But it's a Deco or a Deco. That's the animal feed or AFCO. For the feed for animal feed.
Okay.
They let the guys in Pennsylvania. Jeff knows this. We already talked. They're letting them do chicken feed right now in Pennsylvania.
Really?
But what they did is they did the backdoor way and they passed a state bill. And then they said, okay, we got a state bill. You can't stop us. So now they have to work with them. So we that animal feed business is going to be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, huge. Think about this. I got layered chickens. You guys all know this.
Yeah.
Remember they were saying this conspiracy about Tractor Supply about I shouldn't even said the name. Let me correct myself. There's let's take Tractor Supply out of it. There's a feed out there on the market, public market, and people were saying that this feed was making it so chickens wouldn't lay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you that I was using a feed that was doing that. My chickens were not laying. I stopped using that feed. I went back to the supplemental hemp feed and I changed the brand name. My chickens are laying again. Yeah. So I think there's some truth to it, you guys. My point is, the public's already aware of this problem because the cost of eggs went up to $8 a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the public, I mean, this is directly related to
yes,
the problem.
Is.
And hemp, when you add hemp, Kevin, to the feed, you know the supplemental feed. All three of you guys have seen it. You've seen it, haven't you, Jeff? Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, I got a feed formula.
Mine lays fine right now, so.
Okay, well, this
we can enhance it.
This hemp feed, it literally is high in omega 3, 6, and 9, and it's got more vitamins and minerals in it than most of the feeds on the market. This stuff is it's like steroids for chickens.
Right.
And it's all natural. And but in order for us to get past the seed trial and our co-op members, we have to get the American Feed Association to approve all this stuff. Unless we can get a bill for this specifically for chickens, because MSU sent me, or MDARD sent me that email from Molly Mott, and she said the chicken thing, they're kind of allowing it. So I think, I'm talking to all the farmers right now that are watching this.
Yeah.
That's an open market right now.
Huge. And I can personally attest that those chickens were some of the healthiest laying chickens I've ever seen.
They are.
Some of the best.
And the eaters.
Kevin,
Kevin, tell
them. I swear by them chickens.
Man.
So the eaters and the egg layers, it's phenomenal.
Joe, what kind of output are you getting on the?
So they're telling you 200 eggs a year for reds or for Australopes.
Australopes,
yeah. We're getting 240 to 260.
Yeah.
You say, well, that ain't that much. Well, if you we got a chick, I can't say the name, but there's the largest chicken egg supplier here in the whole world. Is in Saranac.
Right there in Ione, in Saranac.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And if they got 1 million chickens laying, and you do the math, oh my, you know what their numbers? How much their numbers are going to go up? Whoo, we're talking millions,
dude.
Yeah.
Millions
of dollars. And all that feed can come from a 60-mile radius right here, right in Saranac.
Yep.
And you're selling all our seed, our approved seed, to these farmers, and we're consulting them, and they're part of the co-op and everything. Everything can go right to. This is just one customer. There's like 8 of them here in Michigan.
Yeah. If you could get it categorized under a green type feed.
Oh, for sure. Sure.
Your chicken your chicken people out there in Ionia, they know how to buy and get the tax credit off that too.
For sure.
I don't know if you noticed, they got solar panels all over the place. I don't know if you noticed their facilities.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure
so they're getting federally subsidized for having the solar panels as green energy.
Yeah.
So they're getting it on both sides.
Jeff, like on a serious note, I haven't seen a healthier chicken.
So Jeff, on the meat chickens
off a regular feed.
Yeah.
They usually harvest them at 5 pounds because what happens is their legs can't hold up the weight of the bird and their legs break.
Right.
Kevin, and Ken, I'm getting them up to 10 pounds, ain't I?
Yeah.
Hey,
10 pound chicken.
A good 8 to 10 pound chicken.
Is there a difference in the texture and in the flavor than when they get that big?
Oh man.
Yeah,
Jeff,
there's a difference.
Jeff, it's like going back to grandma's kitchen again.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, enough said.
So when you buy chicken at the store, the chicken meat is white. Okay, you know what I mean? It's white. The white meat, even the dark meat, is kind of white. When you feed a chicken hemp supplemental feed, that meat turns red. It's got a red texture to the meat.
Yeah.
And the flavor is I don't know how to explain it, but it's not the same.
It's not the
more,
same. It
it's
tastes
more
like real,
like wild flavor. It's got more flavor to it.
Not gamey. Not gamey.
No, it's not gamey though.
Not gamey. It's wild. If you don't mind, Joe, I got a pretty neat visual right here.
Okay.
If I can figure out how to switch my camera around, but
there's one of them right there.
You see that, Jeff?
Cornish hen?
Yes, sir.
That's a Cornish hen.
Yes, sir.
Man.
And this ain't like I did it 1 year, right, guys? I've been doing this. This is 8 years of doing this. We got it down.
Doing this for years.
Yeah, Jeff, I usually get about 10 chickens a year from him. So yeah, I'll try not to go to the store to buy too much chicken.
We can't sell them to the public, only to church members. So what we do is we don't technically sell the chickens. We have a fundraiser. Right. Everyone pitches in, and then we all get a certain amount of chickens at the end of the season.
Co-op.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. I got one for you, Jeff. Next time I see you, you're gonna take it home.
Don't tell me that. I'll swing by tomorrow. I'll swing by you guys. You guys heard him, right?
Yeah.
I'm swinging by tomorrow, man. Yeah. I'll be there around 5 o'clock.
I got you.
All right, and Ken?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be by his house at 4:30 tomorrow.
Okay. Hey, and the rooster is even better.
Oh, the best, but I don't have any roosters left, Jeff. I apologize. They're the most sought after ones. Everyone wants.
That's the cream of the crop right there.
Yeah, you get the roosters. That's what you want. You don't. The hens are good. Don't get me wrong, but the roosters, they get bigger, and they just taste better. They got more flavor to them.
Hey Joe, you know what I just made some burgers of Friday? That goat meat. I just finished up the last. Dude, I had a good friend from Jamaica. He lives in Pennsylvania. He came to town, and bro, he almost cried. I mean, he's like, I haven't had this good a goat in years. I mean, he tasted the organic
difference, man. There's a difference.
A huge difference. Like I told Jeff, the best way I can explain it is having your grandma's cooking. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing like granny's cooking.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Now you feed it to your goats too?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have to maybe look at doing it with my sheep.
Oh yeah.
All
goats, rabbits.
We're growing for seed, right? For grain.
Right.
Yeah. So all the vegetation that's left over, that's your sheep feed.
Yeah.
Well, last year was a cow. And Ken, he didn't finish telling you the story on our trial. Well, we had the Asian strain that didn't grow, but the Ukrainian one grew great. My cow jumped over the fence and enjoyed the harvest.
Ate the whole thing, you guys.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We didn't have nothing to even report. There was nothing left. He ate the whole thing.
Hey, the cow has something to report.
Right.
And he still goes back into that field too.
I bet he does.
Right, I bet.
And there's nothing there, but he still goes back.
He's looking for a second helping.
Right.
Yeah.
He's lucky he's
guys,
a vet.
It's 9:37.
All right, guys.
We gotta go. I'm gonna turn on the outro. Stick around just to check it out. And, and I'll see you guys next month on here again.
Okay.
But and we'll whatever we got more updates and all that, we can all chat about it. And so thanks for showing up. Thanks for volunteering, everybody. We're gonna have a great year this year and hopefully get more stuff done this year.
Right.
Okay.
So God bless you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow, Jeff. Yep. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Let me throw this on really quick. God bless everybody. And please join us next month. We're working hard for you. You met part of the team. We'll try to get everybody on the team on the next episode. Have a great night.